everyone. You're very welcome to the Lunchtime seminar here today. My name is Roísin McCormack and I'm the Programme Coordinator for Science and Technology Studies Programmes here in the Centre for Adult Learning and Professional Development here in the University of Galway. So just to advise you that this webinar is being recorded and it'll be made available to you hopefully later today. So just when you see web addresses and all that, there's no need to take them down. The information will be made available to you. You might like to turn your videos off or whatever, and mute your cameras just in case, mute your voices just in case any sound comes through. So I'm just going to share my screen now and we'll share some information with you on the programs. Sorry, no, it'll just take a second for me to get this off for you here. I just want to make this easier for you to see here now. Sorry now about this. So just to begin, I'll introduce our panelists and I'll just give you a brief introduction to recognition of prior learning, micro-credentials and the fee subsidies we have available, our springboard courses and the ones we have available to us on the science and technology programs, and what science and technology programs are available here in University of Galway. And then we have a student here, and I'm going to ask the student Adrian just some questions that might be relevant to you before you begin your studies here with us in the centre. So the panelists that we have here with us today, we have Pádraig Keneally, who's a lecturer in the School of Engineering, and Pádraig's going to talk about two of the programmes in the specialist diplomas, the Automation and Control and Lean and Quality Systems. And we have Adam Collins, who's a lecturer in the School of Physics, and Adam's going to speak to us about the Medical Device Science programme. And Dr. Niamh Fitzgerald is going to speak, is also a lecturer in the School of Physics, and Niamh is going to speak to us about the Specialist Diploma in Corporate Environmental Planning. And Adrian has been a student with us for the past number of years in the diploma and degree programs. So I'm just going to chat to Adrian about his experience with us over the last number of years. And I think that'll be a great help with you as you think about, studying with us in the coming years. So just as we begin, just to tell you a little about recognition for prior learning, in case you had some concerns about not, maybe having the qualifications that you think you might need to join us in the programme. So recognition for prior learning is a process by which any previous learning that you've had, whether it be a qualification or, work experience, we study this and consider it. And Suzanne Golden is our RPL officer, and she will take this into consideration. So you can discuss that with her, and it's all taken into consideration. And then micro-credentials and the fee subsidies. In the centre here, we have 65 micro-credentials are on offer here. And all the information on the micro-credential modules are available on the website. And there's detail given, and they're single modules that you can take rather than taking on a full programme if you thought that was maybe a bit too much for you to begin with. So the information on all those modules is available there to you. And there's also substantial fee subsidies available to support the adult learners. So the fee subsidies are between 50% and 80% for each of the modules. So it's quite significant as you consider maybe, going back to your studies. And then Springboard funding is also available, and it's a government initiative. And the Springboard eligibility criteria is found on the Springboard website, which is available there. And we'll say they lead to qualifications in areas where the government believe that the employment opportunities are available, in the economy. And 2 of our specialist diplomas are covered through the Springboard funding. One of those is automation and control, and the other is corporate environmental planning. And 2 of our panelists, Pádraig and Niamh, will discuss those 2 programs later on. And we've just recently found out that our diploma and degree programs will be covered by SUSI funding. So students who study up to degree level can apply for SUSI funding. And an official announcement on this will be made next Wednesday, the 24th of July. So further information on this will be available on our website after next Wednesday. And if you have any questions on that, you will be able to contact us at an email address that will be provided on the last slide. So I'm just going to begin by giving you some information on the Diploma in Foundation Studies in Science, Technology and Engineering. Now, the Diploma in Foundation Studies is run by the Mature Students Office, which isn't actually here in the centre, but we work very closely with them. So this programme is run jointly with ATU and in collaboration with ATU, and as a part-time course. It runs 2 evenings per week on campus and approximately 2 Saturdays per month from September to May. And it's for mature students over 22. And it works with students who are interested in moving onwards, either full-time or part-time degrees in the University of Galway or in ATU in areas such as engineering, science, computer science or nursing. And it can be used as an equivalent to the Leaving Cert to apply for, health sciences through mature student entry route. So the fees for the course are, if you're employed, they're €380, and if you're unemployed, they're just €60. Okay. So you'll see the modules that are available to you down there. The academic modules are in the science, technology and engineering area, or biology, chemistry, mathematics and physics. And the core modules that are available are academic writing, academic study skills, academic technology and engage. Okay. So for further information, you can contact Kathleen Hartigal, who is available at that address down below there. So the first course that I'll speak about there is the Diploma in Science and Technology Studies course, and this is one that I am Programme Coordinator for here in the centre. So this is an area that would be of interest in the medtech, pharma, high-tech environments. And the core modules would be in science, engineering, management and IT, and it would be of particular interest for those who, we'll say, for example, work on as product builders, we'll say, in, medtech companies who might be interested in promotion and maybe, didn't have an opportunity to go to college after school. So, it's a good opportunity, to take that on. There's electives then as well that if you did maybe manage to get to a level 7 or a level 6, you might want to kind of just upskill, and the electives are in quality, operations, IT, production systems, and there's also work-based project modules which will allow you the opportunity to kind of get more involved in in kind of work. So also transversal skills. So it allows you to kind of, get involved in problem solving and decision making in the workplace. So the course structure then is blended learning. It is mostly online, but there is campus workshops and labs. So there is in-person tutorials, which allows you to kind of get to know your tutors and also get to know your classmates, which is quite important. With regard to assessment, there's a lot of continuous assessment, but in the diploma, there are in-person exams as well. So it's a modular structure and can be studied between 2 and 4 years. And it's up to you how many modules you take each semester. You can take like between 2 and 5 modules each semester. The award is 120 credits at level 7, and you must have Leaving Cert Maths. And the progression then is to progress to the degree in science and technology or to one of the specialist diplomas, which is one of our panelists will speak about later. There is next level SkillNet funding available for the diploma program also. The degree in science and technology studies, the course structure is very similar to the diploma. There's a little bit less in person with the degree program just because of the structure of it. But again, it can be studied between 2 and 4 years, and you choose the number of modules. And the award is a degree award, and the entry requirements is that you must have a level 7, and you may go on to postgraduate study afterwards. The core modules are in production systems and operations management. Again, it's, for upskilling and that, and the specialist diplomas would be of particular interest to you in whatever area of work you're interested, maybe in promotion for medical device, pharma, lean, quality systems, regulatory affairs, automation, or environmental planning, which again, one of our panelists will speak about. And there is a major work-based project module, which is always of interest, because it gets you more involved in the workplace and kind of, which can be very helpful to you later on. So now with our specialist diplomas in science and technology, so we offer independent specialist diplomas. These are also linked to our degree, program. So there's automation and control, corporate environmental planning, medical device science, and lean and quality systems. The course structure is part-time flexible courses at level 8 and 30 ECTS, so 30 credits. They're delivered online from September to June, and they're designed for career advancement or career change. They all respond to the skills need of industry, and entry requires a level 7 or at least 90 ECTS. There is an English language requirement for that, and that's really just for kind of academic writing skills for kind of your own competency. And again, you can progress to the degree in science to attain a full degree at that point. So now I'm going to ask Niamh to talk specifically about the Specialist Diploma in Corporate Environmental Science. Thanks very much, Niamh.
Hi, Harry. Okay, so our Specialist Diploma in Corporate Environmental Science is a practical-based diploma, and the general learning outcomes of the diploma are based on the Sustainable Development Goals of the University of Galway. So it's all up on our webpage if you're interested to follow it up. But some of those are things like climate action, sustainable cities and commutes, and affordable and clean energy. So as the sustainable goals would kind of suggest, we look at things that are very environmental, such as environmental planning, legislation, and management mainly within industries and public bodies. So this course really, if you think about it, who would it be suitable for? We kind of think for anyone who really wants to move into the area of environmental policy and sustainability. Also, it's really kind of informative for anyone who really is interested in things like clean energy and climate action, really on the even kind of governmental side. So as Rosie mentioned, the course is supported by Springboard. So again, if you want more information on that, please do email the email address at the end of the slides. But the course itself is broken down into 6 modules, so 2 of which can be taken as micro-credentials. And through the modules, we look at things like processes, case studies, and risk management compliance in Ireland. So it's quite practical. The case studies we look at are very much Irish company based, from a level of hospitality all the way up to like manufacturing industries. And again, the course is centered around, we'd say, yes, industry and public bodies. So it really is applicable across the board to anyone really in engineering or manufacturing, environmental science, anyone kind of looking for mid to senior management, hospitality, and health and safety. So I suppose the last thing we kind of think is what do you get from this? What are your takeaway core competencies from the course? And it really is conducting and formatting things like audits, energy budgets, assessing things like ISO, so international standards, and report writing to really integrate into the, we'll say, modern industrial setting on the environmental side. I think that's kind of, if you want any more information on the course, like I said, please drop us an email to the email address at the end of the slides. Yeah, it's neat.
Thanks very much, Niamh. Sorry, I'm just trying to click. And now I'm going to ask Adam to speak about Specialist Diploma in Medical Device Science. Thanks very much, Adam.
Yeah, sure, no problem, Rosie. This Specialist Diploma, like, there's very good career progression prospects from this diploma because it's very relevant for the employment in Ireland, and in particular in the west of Ireland. So as we know, there's many multinational medtech medical device companies operating in Galway. There's also lots of startups coming out of universities, such as this university. And what's nice with some of the modules here is that the people teaching these modules would have been involved in some of the research which led to some of these spin-out companies. You can see there's a nice spread of modules which kind of goes from biology topics like anatomy and biocompatibility to more engineering topics like mechanics of solids and process development, and then things like medical device regulation. So it certainly won't be a repetitive thing to study. The assessments for these modules vary, but they're mostly weighted towards continuous assessment. Some modules do have an end of term exam, like the biocompatibility module has an end of term exam with some continuous assessment. So it's kind of a mix of assessments. Some modules also have in-person labs, which are not compulsory, but semester 2 just gone, the biocompatibility module had an in-person lab, which everyone had opted to attend, and actually was very well received. So it's something that we would look to promote more where appropriate, to have more in-person learning. As Rosie said, you can meet your classmates, you can meet your lecturers, you get a bit more out of it when you get the blended approach. And what's useful is the workshops generally on Saturdays, where labs are more available around the university to host these kind of workshops. So it's something we'll look to implement more in the coming semesters. So as I said, completing this diploma will put you in a strong position to progress your career in medtech. You'll have kind of varied and interesting topics, and these will be delivered by knowledgeable researchers and academics here at the university.
Great, Adam. Thanks very much.
Sure.
Now, Pádraig, if I could ask you to speak about automation control, and also then we'll go on to the lean quality systems. Thank you.
Thanks, Rosie. Yeah, so just to echo what Adam said, lots of jobs in automation, lots of automated equipment on assembly lines and in factories around the place. So a good skill to learn, and this course gives you kind of a nice overview on a lot of different technologies and how they might be applied. So with automation 1 and 2, first of all, you start looking at kind of how to apply a bit of automation. So maybe to study a process and look at what you could possibly automate in that process. So not everything makes sense to automate. You could automate anything in the world if you wanted to spend enough time and money at it, but it generally doesn't make sense until you kind of drill down into it and you look at what's repeatable, what's you know, kind of easy enough to get a handle on from an automation point of view. And then you'll start to look at what hardware and software you might need to involve. So you might need some conveyors or actuators or grippers or things like that. If it's the case that you're trying to pick something with a robot or something, you may need one gripper to pick one part of the component. And if there's a slightly different shape or larger or smaller, or depending on the application, you may need a totally different gripper. So looking at those types of hardware stuff, and then the sensors that you need to detect where things are in the process. So you know, different types of inductive proximity sensors or safety scanners or push buttons, all the different types of hardware that you might need, and then the software that kind of controls it and ties it together. So we'll start looking with some small kind of hobby electronics with Arduino and C++ programming, which will give you an introduction to the world of kind of automation and control, and then we'll move from there into some PLC programming. So we've got some hardware in the college, and we've got some online simulation tools, which are pretty good as well. So you'll get introduced to those. We do plan to do a number of on-site labs, as Adam had mentioned in the similar medical device courses. So these will be optional because the course is being offered as 100% online. But again, anybody who has came to these online labs or on-site labs in the past has found them really beneficial. They will be run on Saturdays. At the moment, it's looking like one in November and one maybe in March or something like that for the automation and control. So moving into automation 2 then, it'll be more into the applications. So you'll be looking at robotics, AGVs, you know, industrial safety, that type of stuff. On the manufacturing technology, it's kind of an overview of you know, how materials are shaped and formed into products. Machine design then will give kind of an introduction to CAD, to 3D printing, and to some of the elements of kind of fundamentals of machine design. And you also have an opportunity to do a work-based project, which runs over the 2 semesters, where you can identify something in your workplace where you think automation might be applied, and do kind of a case study, some analysis, some feasibility study type stuff on it, and write it up into a nice report. So that's more or less everything on the automation and control. Okay, so specialist diploma in lean quality systems then. So again, lean is very kind of marketable skill. If you walk into almost any production facility in the country or worldwide, you're going to see some elements of lean manufacturing. You'll also see it in other industries such as healthcare, hospitality, things like that. So we'll introduce some of the lean concepts. First up is the lean thinking and lean tools that's running in semester 1. So you'll get introduced to a lot of different lean concepts. For example, standard work. So that's like you know, documenting all of the steps involved in the process in the right order with the right materials in the right amount of time, so that you can set up assembly lines, you can balance production, and then you can scale up or scale down depending on what your customer demand is. You look at Kaizen, which is like rapid improvements. So, you know, overviewing a process and looking at where you can improve it. You look at visual management and 5S, which is, you know, multiple applications in the workplace and in everyday life as well. Material supply concepts like just-in-time, Kanban, quality, control measures like Poke-Yoke, and just generally lots of different lean concepts. Again, we'd like to do an on-site lab once per semester for this course as well. So depending on the numbers, where we can do kind of a factory simulation in a lab and look at it before lean and after lean and the results of that. For the problem solving, you'll learn kind of A3 problem solving, which is again is standard throughout a lot of workplaces. You learn how to break down a problem, to use data to categorize what the potential failure modes are, look at a couple of lean tools like Ishikawa or herringbone diagrams for cause and effect, 5 whys, 7 ways, and learn how to apply those in kind of real world situations, let's say. You also have an opportunity to do a work-based project in this course as well, which again would run over both semesters. So that's more or less the overview on that one.
Great, Park. Thanks very much. Now, so we'll bring in Adrian now, who will answer some questions for us. Oh, sorry, no, I just went back there by mistake. So I might just actually stop sharing for a second, if you don't mind. So Adrian, as I said already, has completed both our diploma and degree programs. So Adrian, are you okay there just to speak with us for a few minutes?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. Thanks very much, Adrian. So just my first question is just very straightforward. Just what was your motivation to study with us, Adrian?
Right, so my interest with science and technology has always pushed me towards you know, like the career in engineering. But however, I was lacking the third level education, so that prevented me from entering that field. So to overcome this obstacle, I developed a very ambitious 6-year plan to earn the degree with the University of Galway. So after receiving my diploma in science and technology, I was able to secure position in Abbott Diagnostic here in Longford. It's a company I had long aimed to be part of. So the knowledge I gained from the diploma course, particularly in areas like chemistry, maths, biology, physics, it's very important navigating my day-to-day responsibilities. So now with my degree and the knowledge from streams like automation control was just mentioned here earlier, and medical devices, I'm prepared for the transition into engineering role.
That's great, Adrian. And just like what has your experience been since you started studies? I know it's difficult to commit to 6 years of study, but what was your experience?
So both. So I'll start with that both diploma and degree, it significantly reinforced my confidence on a personal, academical, and professional level. So the diploma provided me with a solid scientific foundation, which was further expanded during the degree cycle. So throughout my studies, I frequently saw connections between different sciences and subjects that further increased my understanding. So in addition to the core modules, there was also a good selection of the elective modules to choose from. So in the degree cycle, this translated into specific streams, which on their own can be delivered as standalone diplomas. Additionally, the university offers academic writing center, which provides support for assignment writing, research and citation. Additionally, students have access to vast collection of papers throughout the online library. These are the resources, you know, otherwise you would have to pay for. The university also provide other resources such as software licenses for students. So let's say there would be a CAD module, you would have a SolidWorks or Onshape available for you. And there will be also a commercial application such as Zoom Premium, which I'm using right now, or even Spotify for students. And it's probably worth to mention other discounts like I don't know, cinema tickets or even the Bujum burritos here in Galway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And lastly, I would like to also acknowledge the support I have received from the university program team and tutors. So it really didn't matter if my inquiries were related to the program or administrative matters, such as timetable results. I always received a response quickly, and there was help. And on top of that, the university curriculum is thoroughly prepared and it's offering up-to-date information with very modern approach. The lecturers, which many are industry professionals, are really knowledgeable, approachable, and helpful. And also the flexibility of the program lecturers in the university was very beneficial. I had opportunity to work on long-standing interests such as blockchain technology, space exploration, and with my last project, artificial intelligence. So that's great.
Yeah, very good, Adrian. So just kind of in relation to, you know, I mean, I know like obviously you work full time and you're studying and that, and you have other commitments outside of work. Like, how did you manage your time, you know, while studying?
So first of all, I chose to complete the diploma and my degree separately, obviously, over 3 years each, right? So
Yeah.
that made easier to balance full-time work and family responsibilities. And so, and additionally, the flexible module selection, you know, and the hybrid learning model were ideal for me. So touching on the hybrid learning, this proved to be more suitable approach as it was easier to manage time, especially, you know, when you study from home. It was eliminating the need for travel if you're not from Galway, and also the convenience of the recorded tutorials that, you know, that ensure that I never missed out any session, or it could be revisited during the assignment completions. And yeah, obviously, despite the advantages of the remote learning, there are also benefits when you're on campus. So you could meet your classmates in person and you could have hand-on experience during those practical sessions and laboratories, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, exactly. Very good, Adrian. Thanks very much. So just like we'll say, you know, was there any particular challenges, we'll say, that you found that you had to kind of overcome, you know, in particular, we'll say?
Yeah, so there were a few. So like the main three probably, yes, the first one, returning to education after almost 20 years. So that was an enormous challenge on its own. You know, it really demanded doubling my effort, like in certain subjects like mathematics. You know, I need to get up to speed with the college curriculum. Also, English is not my first language, so that presented additional challenges. And maybe sounds silly, but you know, I had particular problem with paraphrasing. As you know, as a non-native speaker, it was it was often difficult to find alternative way to express something that in the sentence that already seems inexpressible in any other way. And the third one would be the balancing work, family, and studies. Yeah, it was a task on itself. But I had my own schedules and deadline. I typically set them up a week earlier than actual deadline. So that was like my strategy to give me a safety cushion just in case if something unforeseen would happen.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, yeah. I've heard other people saying similar actually. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I think it's definitely a good way to do it. All right, very good. So like we'll say in your position now, looking back over the last 6 years, what advice would you give, we'll say, future students who might consider beginning now?
Right. So the most important advice I can pass on is to choose your elective modules so the way that they will generally grab your interest. So this approach will make learning process easier. You will find the content more engaging and its applications to assignments more intuitive. And also create your personal schedule with your own due dates. That's what I just mentioned before. This way, always you're prepared for unexpected. Like I found very helpful to combine already the resources that are already present, like university calendar, and I had just my OneNote on site. So those two were really helpful to maintain that schedule. And also consider seeking support from your employer. So whatever is this in a form of funding or opportunity to take work-based projects. So many workplaces offer educational assistance for their employees, which can be often provided in conjunction with SkillNet. So SkillNet is a support agency of the government of Ireland. There's one small caveat. SkillNet needs to be enlisted or registered with your employer system to provide their services. But yeah, it's also important to remember when you will have the education assistant, it's not only limited to financial aid, but you might also be granted exam leave, study leave. Yeah, so summarizing, I recommend these courses to anyone who is passionate about science and technology, who is seeking deeper knowledge and understanding, and very important, which I found very important, the opportunity to conduct your own research. So yeah, this program will certainly expand your knowledge and expertise, and it hopefully will help you with your career objectives.
Yeah, very good. That's fantastic advice, Adrian. Excellent, very good, and thank you very much for helping us out
You're
today.
welcome.
It's been really, really helpful. And just you mentioned SkillNet there, and I know that Sue in SkillNet she's extremely helpful in the whole process with the funding. It's very straightforward.
It is.
So like they don't make it difficult at all. Once your company is registered with them, it's very straightforward process. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's usually one single email.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. Okay, Adrian, I'll leave it there, and thank you very much again. I'm just going to share my screen again now because I just have one last slide there, just with a couple of with a web address and an email address to share. So sorry, 1 second now. So just thank you all for coming today and listening in. I hope it was helpful. So we just have a QR code there just with our website. And also the email address there, sciencetech@universityofgalway.ie. There's 3 of us there that access that. So we're always there to answer your questions. And how you apply for our courses is that's the website there that you use to apply. And then the Springboard courses, where you get automation and control and corporate environmental planning, is through springboardcourses.ie. So that's a separate website. If you have any difficulty finding that, please do email us at sciencetech@universityofgalway.ie. So thank you very much for joining us today. and we'll leave it at that. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.